Your return is much appreciated by the CoinSeries channel. Request from new viewer is, which of these options do you prefer? Please people cast your vote in the community option. Option A XRP. Option B Ripple. Option C SEC. Much people in the crypto and banking industries are assuming that we would devote much of today to talking about Ripple and XRP. Enjoying said that, I hope that no matter where you are right now, you are all enjoying a fantastic day. In this video, I'm going to go right to the point because I believe the mainstream media is now spreading a lot of garbage, and it's all about X. You can find it on YouTube, of all places. There has been a recent uptick in interest in Bitcoin ETFs. These are currently trending like hotcakes. Almost everyone is paying attention to this event. Yes, there will be problems, there will be major distractions from the truth and the critical matter that demands our focus, as I've already indicated. Along the way, we will witness massive shakeups. Let me guess, you've probably heard of price movements before. Disagreeable behavior. A Bitcoin ETF is one instance of a straightforward occurrence. Based on a Google search for Bitcoin ETFs an hour ago, there was 4.6 billion in activity on the first day of trading when Peking ETFs began trading on US platforms. This is just what we've heard from the news outlets. The past 2 days have been absolutely insane. Periods of time. So, as we take a closer look at this issue, they are shaping the retail industry's views and behaviors by giving them what they want. I think this is a major distraction, and I say it again, there are many. We have seen this fairly frequently, haven't we? Even when we check for Bitcoin ETF internationally over the previous 5 years on Google Trends? Even though there will be some approvals for exchange-traded funds, ETFs, in 2021, the current state of affairs is unprecedented, and nothing will change. It appears that this topic has gone viral, as Bitcoin searches from the retail sector are also starting to heat up. So, many people in the retail sector are now interested in Bitcoin because of these Bitcoin ETFs. Our national debt has risen to $34 trillion, and this is happening at the same time. All the while, interest rates on credit cards have soared to all-time highs, both when compared to previous eras and when expressed in absolute terms. There has been a significant shift. This tweet showed up on my feed today. By the way, good morning, 3TGM Crypto is the technology behind it. An analyst for Fox Business dropped a bombshell today, and crypto assets like XRP and XLM are probably next on the list of targets. Imagine for a second a world where a digital currency acts as a financial link, flooding the markets with enormous wealth and setting off an economic boom not seen since the 1980s. This domino effect extends far beyond the realm of finance and has far-reaching consequences for things like innovation, quality of life, and the generation of jobs. Money is the lifeblood of every thriving economy. What type of impact will real cryptocurrency utility have when it hits the American markets? Additionally, I will be playing this clip once again very soon. The most strange thing, though, is that the more we investigate the neighborhood, the more I get the feeling that everyone has their own agenda. Because I see it so often, I feel compelled to tell you the truth. Indeed, I am accurate. Money is a universally desired commodity. Making ends meet is a challenge for many people. We must also be aware that we are producing revenue. It's as simple as that. I think it's important for everyone to understand that the information we consume in this place and elsewhere has the potential to cloud our judgment. The people you associate with, the ways you live your life, and even the things you see in the news can all work against you. While there have been numerous tales shared about the XRP community and cryptocurrencies in general, I feel it is important to address this again. This is based on a lot of assumptions. Not to mention BlackRock, but you can bet that Stellar and Ripple are teaming up with some of the largest names in the business. Yes, I am talking about the G20, the FSB, the BIS, and the IMF. Despite their involvement with numerous other market enterprises, major institutions such as the World Economic Forum remain connected with XRP. And it's fantastic. I feel obligated to bring this up since I believe a new international order is about to emerge. People have been discussing it for nearly a decade. On top of that, It seems like we are getting close to this. Allow me to present the video clip. A little over 32 seconds elapse. This did in fact air on Fox Business. Due to everyone's obsession on large win ETFs, a glimpse of the actual scenario can be seen, as indicated earlier. Take extra care. I agree that it is not yet, since we haven't reached the point where institutional buy-in is there. As an example, I often cite Tokyo and the Bank of Mitsubishi. A transfer of $100 million from the Tokyo branch to the New York branch, denominated in dollars, would necessitate $100 million in New York and 100 million yen in Tokyo. $200 million in capital would be locked up in this. The bank could release half of that capital if the two transactions could be finished at the same time. That's a big deal. Having said that, we have not yet overcome that obstacle. Truly, it looks like it's heading in that direction. Because of this, I take it at face value. And this is one of the biggest claims we have ever experienced, so please take that into consideration. As cited in prominent news publications. As a result, the most important thing is to free up that restricted cash. NOS Vostro accounts are worth an estimated $27 trillion. No one can tell us how much money is in circulation. Would I be right? On a daily basis, units in the trillions move at a rate that our minds simply cannot comprehend. How much money is really being put aside for future use? We just do not have the funds available at the moment to do this. Because of the downturn in the economy, we are everyone experiencing debt, not just myself. At this time, that isn't even possible. I don't think so. There will be some cracking as you go. I believe this is the way forward for the financial industry. A new global order is on the horizon. Once again, from a technical perspective, you will look competent at that. Look at it that way if you prefer. It has already happened. It can't be stopped. But you can see a shift happening. I've been having conversations about it with the CBDC stablecoins. This has already happened. While this is going on, though, the BRICS are also making some big steps. China and Russia, two of the BRICS commodities heavyweights, have stated their intention to work together in this area. Thus the idea goes, the BRICS countries will start using their dominance in the supply chain to increase their influence. This strategy is easy to see through. Just so you know, this has nothing to do with XRP whatsoever. The importance of diversifying your investments beyond the Bitcoin market cannot be overstated, in my opinion. What? Just goods? When I look at gold and silver, I don't think most people would be interested in them as investments. I think it's important for everyone to understand that Basel III changes everything. Major banks like JP Morgan have been influencing the metals market for a while now, and I think this will cause silver and gold prices to climb. A resolution is on the horizon. I foresee a meteoric rise in the price of precious silver and an even greater return on investment for silver at that time. This has been in the works for a while, but it is all a component of the big change. Everything is fitting perfectly, thanks to ISO 22 and Basel III. It all begins with the dollarization of the D in August of 2023, but now things are starting to fall into place. Would you agree with JP Morgan that the US currency is losing its dominance? In light of recent geopolitical and geostrategic events, including the protracted crisis between Russia and Ukraine, the dollar's dominance has come into question. There is a movement toward dollarization of foreign exchange reserves, despite the dollar's continued dominance in transactions. A growing number of oil market transactions are being conducted in currencies other than the US dollar, indicating that the dollar is also losing some influence in this sector. Due to America's extensive network of diplomatic ties, rapid dollarization is not an option. But what's interesting is that a lot of relationships are really breaking down. In reality, aren't partnerships declining? Looking back at what happened at the beginning of the month, we can observe that a number of major energy giants, such as Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE, chose to abandon the dollar and become members of the BRICS. The stars are aligning, and everything is falling into place just as I had predicted. The process of dollarization is currently underway. Remember that the dollar's relegation from reserve currency status is a gradual process. I also mentioned that, in principle, there is no longer any need for a reserve currency. A quick settlement system may theoretically use any asset as security. Gold is only one example. Do not let go of this. The US dollar monetary system will be abolished by Rex in 24 hours. Here it is, January 6, 2024. This is obviously a big one. The 5 member states of the BRICS are currently de-dollarizing their economies. Dismantling the financial system reliant on the US currency requires immediate action. All of the BRICS countries have committed to demonetizing the dollar and have done the required actions. Additionally, this is becoming more and more popular. Not to mention, it was a huge deal. The beginning point is the year 2022. It is theoretically going to be 2 years since sanctions were imposed against Russia, which only made the currencies drop against the US dollar worse. Furthermore, 16 additional nations are contemplating becoming members of BRICS in a bid to de-dollarize themselves from the US dollar. Consequently, the US dollar's depreciation will be accelerated, financial instability will worsen, and the 2024 potential of a BRICS currency, which, incidentally, is meant to be backed by gold, would do nothing except add fuel to the fire. And that will really quicken everything. Is it possible to demonetize the US dollar using physical means? Personally, I think not. But it's certainly doable. However, I really doubt that will be the case in 2024. I think we might see some major shifts in that regard within the next 3 to 5 years. Another thing the BRICS Bank is doing is trying to get its money from places other than the US dollar. Important as well was this. This is the site of the New Development Bank, which is also called the BRICS Bank. Keep an eye on the New Development Bank, they've been experimenting with cryptocurrency for a while. However, everything is aimed toward the US dollar. You should follow the money, as I've mentioned before. The BRIC nations are receiving the great bulk of it. SWIFT-STAR bank transfers and local currency extend beyond this for Russia, Iran, and other countries. This occurred on January 10, guys. This is major since we've been talking about SWIFT's obsolescence for a while now. In order to survive, they need to come up with novel approaches. The BRICS nations of Russia and Iran have officially severed ties with the international money transfer system SWIFT. As per the BRICS agreement, the two countries would begin settling their international trade through direct bank transfers. The SWIFT payment mechanism is no longer necessary for Iranian and Russian trade. Instead of trading US dollars, the two BRICS members will be exchanging local currencies, as they have already opted to use their banks for all of their financial interactions. This is just the start, I repeat. The sanctions, as I've already mentioned, were the engine that drove everything that happened during the last 2 years. What happened after that? Its sole constants were light and fire. You are aware of my regular stance on the US dollar? You can't use it as a financial weapon anymore. There was a climax, and I can feel it coming to a close any second now. The sanctions were the first cause of the fire. The fire is currently spreading quickly. We must keep our focus on this issue at all times. Truthfully, I've been in the know about how popular Bitcoin ETFs are. This is something the cryptocurrency market is going to do, and it will lead to price explosions. Beyond that, I still think crypto will have a great year. This, in my opinion, deserves everyone's undivided attention. As an aside, it appears that the BRICS might be the final straw for the global energy market and the US currency. On September 9, Iran's deputy foreign minister spoke about the BRICS alliance's expansion. Furthermore, it brought attention to the alliance's increasing clout in the global energy market, which is said to be impacted by its dedication to dollarization. That will define its initial entry into the bloc. The draft for the year 2023 is also available here. The BRICS alliance's growth was a major geopolitical development. The sanctions imposed on Russia by the West brought the alliance closer together. A multipolar world order was further solidified when the alliance's 5-nation expansion was announced at its 2023 summit, marking a turning point in the organization's history. This plan was formalized when the new year began. And key player in the struggle to remove US money from the global energy market has emerged with the recent membership of one of the BRIC states in the alliance. This tendency is only going to get faster now that Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Ethiopia, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia are all part of the BRICS Plus group. The Islamic Republic of Iran has just come to terms with the bloc's energy production advantage, which puts the US dollar in a precarious position given its prominence in the global energy market and, ultimately, its reserve status. In my opinion, it appears like this is all planned again. These are also significant events. Having said that, this is a historic statement from Fox Business as it educates and enlightens us on what is ahead. Keep an eye on news that has nothing to do with the equity ETFs. An overwhelming amount of ambient sound is audible. For such a short time, the volume is just too high. All of this feels like a calculated effort to deflect focus from the actual problem. Basically, all I can say is that the video was entertaining. If you haven't already, please subscribe to updates. As for now, farewell.